Recently, I've been on a little bit of a Ducktales high. Suddenly, I got like this video of like the trio, the triplets just being goofballs and funny moments, like part two or something like that. And I watched it and I'm like, dude, I remember this show. It was actually peak fiction. It was so good. After like season two, I wasn't like really caught up with the show, and I don't remember much of what happened in season one and two. So I decided, hey, I might as well watch it. So I did, and I have to say that I kind of found out why Louie was my favorite character. Because I've always, out of all the out of the triplets, I've always liked Louie. Mainly because he was rocking the hoodie and he was lazy as balls, just like me, right? The youngest, you know, it is what it is. That's how it goes. But throughout the seasons one and two, he was kind of a narc, right? Like he's like they literally call him the evil triplet. Like he's a lazy bum. He doesn't like working hard. But the last like 3, 4 episodes of season two really cemented him as my favorite of the triplets, and it was one of the, in my opinion, one of the greatest pieces of character development in the whole show throughout the show for the triplets, is what I'm trying to say basically. So to start with Timephoon, basically Louie is scheming like always, okay? But the thing that's different is that halfway through the season, Della returns, right? So then we each get an episode of Della interacting with her kids. Heck, even Webby, all right? And she's trying to learn how to be a parent because they're like, what, like 10 years old now? So then she has to understand who her kids are now, right? Because they were raised by Donald. They wasn't raised by her. So she needs to know, what did Donald produce when raising these kids? Not exactly fully him producing, but what did his parenting style produce for the kids each, right? It made, like, Donald's parenting made like Huey, Dewey, and Louie like adventurous, of course, but it made Huey like very very strict, very like oriented. Like he has a plan, he has a structure, a junior woodchuck. Dewey is a bit more rebellious. He's attention seeking. He loves adventure more than the others. And then there's Dewey, not Dewey. There's Louie, my goat. Okay, I messed him up. I can't even say my goat. I'm gonna blow my brains out. My goat Louie. He's a lazy bum. He plans just to, get ahead in the game, right? And that's kind of what Donald's parenting, that's the end result. It's not exactly what he tried to produce, but that is what he produced. So then Della's got to work off that. And Della has been fine chilling with her kids. Of course, there's struggles from time to time because he doesn't really know them. She doesn't really know them that well. But of course, in the end, they still have a peaceful relationship by the end of the episode with their mom. But with Louie, it's a bit different. Whereas Donald starts off strict and learns to be more open with the kids as season one kind of ends. Della is more lenient with the kids, but then she learns that she has to put her foot down with Louie. Because what he does in Timephoon is absolute disastrous. Bro almost blows up the time stream, which is actually crazy, by the way. But, he fixes it. My goat. That's so bad, though. I can't defend him. I can't defend him. I cannot defend him on that. I'm sorry, dude. I can't defend you. Anyways, Timephoon, we end off with Della having to struggle with being strict for once in her new parenting life. And it's hard for her, but it's also hard for Louie, right? Because he's never experienced like being fully like just grounded and kind of yelled at, being told that what he did was just wrong, even though he fixed it and everything was good in the end. He's never had to fight against someone who was truly strict on him. Because Donald, while he was strict in an overprotective way. He was trying to shield the boys from the outside world. Whereas Della right now is trying to shield the boys, or Louie in this case, from destroying literally himself and his family. He is the outside world. He's the danger. And then that leads into my favorite episode in all of DuckTales. Glomtales is a masterpiece. It is peak fiction. It's hilarious. It's just such a good episode. You have to watch the episode. It's actually so good. So it starts off with Louie. Obviously, he's cooked, right? He's trapped in the house, no Wi-Fi, no internet. I'd off myself if I'd not go on my phone for a whole like day while my family goes on vacation to where the place I wanted to go the most. Like that's actual torture. But Louie, he deserved it. But we also want him to fix the problem he has with his mom and his family so that he can go there. In the end, he doesn't, which is actually blue balling me, but it is what it is. But on the other side of the earth, there's Glomgold, who, like Louie, is a schemer. And what he does is he gets his own family together to beat Scrooge's family. And by the end of the episode, Glomgold says that he was just using his family the whole time for his benefit, which was what Louie was doing literally the episode prior. But what happens is that Louie is now learning from his mistake. Whereas Glomgold had his family against him because he was only using them. Louie was using Glomgold for the protection of his family. Not only did he stop the other villains from trying to murk them, even though they probably would lose, but he also got their money. He got Scrooge's and Glomgold's and everyone else's money, which he could then give back to Scrooge. So then everything would be fine. But the greatest thing, it is left on a cliffhanger. They say everything is good. Louie and his mom reconcile. He understands that what Louie's good at is seeing the angles, not exactly scheming in the way Glomgold does, but seeing all the angles like Scrooge does in his peak fiction, by the way. But it leaves off on a cliffhanger, to where we know that Louie, in his want and desire and his goal to be the richest duck in the world, we know what he's gonna do. He's not gonna give the money to Scrooge, but this leads to another great episode. I forgot what it's called. Give me a second. Okay, so it's literally just called The Richest Duck in the World for no reason, but whatever. Anyways, Louie gets the money and Scrooge laughs at him. And we know that, yeah, Louie's cooked. Something is gonna go wrong and he's cooked, and my boy steam fried, flambe, sauteed, he's done, okay. But we're just gonna see it through. And when the stinking monster, whatever, I forgot what his name is. Anyways, he's chasing around the richest duck in the world, and Louie screwed up, right? And even Scrooge barely managed to keep him in the little island, okay? But what Louie has to learn is that his actions have major consequences, and that he can't just truly scheme his way to an easy fortune. There has to be some hard work put into it. And by the end of the episode, Louie is doing what Scrooge first did. Louie ends up doing what Scrooge did to get his first dime, which started his journey of being the richest duck in the world. He cleaned a boot. He scrubbed and he scrubbed until it was done. And boom, that was the lesson that Louie learned. And even in the season finale, which is literally the next episode, Della needed each of her kids to do what they were best at. And she finally understood that Louie, his role was to see angles that she can't. And any of the angles that they both can see, she will be there to guide him to the best possible solution to that angle. And that is probably my favorite string of 4 episodes, because it has a wide character arc. It's about my favorite character, and the learning process is not just a single episode, it's multiple. And there's even outer characters that are like helping with Louie's internal conflict and external somewhat. Louie learned the lesson that Della learned in Timephoon, that she can't be as lenient. Things don't come easy, and there has to be a point in time where she has to put her foot down. Louie learned the same thing, but for himself. He learned that he can't just scheme his way to the top. There has to be times where he has to put his foot down and actually work hard to get the things he wants. Louie learned the lesson that Scrooge did back in season 1, that everything he does and should ever do is for his family. A family that loves him and that is here for him. And he learned to stray away from Glomgold. Whereas Glomgold used his supposed family for his own personal gain, Louie used his scheming and what he could see for the benefit of his own family. And, I mean, what more could you ask for? That's like bro had like the he had the original trio of character development at the end of season 2. It was perfect. And even, I think at the beginning of season 1, Louie learned himself that, hey, I have the potential to see all the angles that no one else can. It was like a little baby awakening for this trio of episodes. And in my opinion, some of the best Ducktales to ever be produced in Ducktales. 2017. I don't know much about the original. I know like 2 episodes. So yeah, that's why I like Louie. Louie's my favorite. I mean, also the original reason I like Louie, because he was rocking a hoodie. His hoodie was peak fiction. Also, he has the same voice actor as Panda, and Panda's my favorite. So it might just be there might be a correlation there. I don't know. Okay, bye.